excited because I'm going to be chatting with an actor who literally can do everything. I think she's dabbled in pretty much everything, and that's what you call a great actor. I'm talking about the talented Rasika Dugal. Rasika, thank you so much for doing this. How have you been?
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for that introduction. It always makes me feel special.
You do something, they're like, अच्छा आर्टी है, indie है, commercial है, और ऐसे serious करती है, all of that. Which, fortunately, in your case, I don't think you've been boxed that way. Have you? Have you faced that?
जब शुरुआत में उतना काम नहीं मिल रहा था तो मुझे
जी.
लगता था यार कोई मुझे स्टीरियोटाइप ही कर दे वही बेटर होगा ताकि
At
ताकि
least steady work.
हाँ ताकि the moment to think of a role like that they the first person to think of calling is me, and at least for a while I can have a lot of work in the same space, so to say. But and from there I can sort of convince people that I can do a variety of things. um but more seriously, I do feel that it's hard to say that one role is like another. So even if somebody would have cast you because they feel that two roles are similar, because they have a similar physicality or they have a similar look, they're actually very different experiences for an actor. For example, somebody could argue that Safia Manto in Manto and Ishrat, this character I play in Hamid, are sort of similar parts. But I don't think so at all. They were very different emotional experiences for me.
Yeah.
So अगर मुझे नहीं लगता कि आप कोशिश करके भी एक्टर को स्टीरियोटाइप कर सकते हो क्योंकि how you connect with the role is very very unique. So I've never been so afraid of being stereotyped, so to say. But having said that, I think I've also been fortunate that there have been a few people who have imagined me in a way that people would not have. For example, the directors and casting directors of Mirzapur. मतलब मिर्जापुर में जब मेरी कास्टिंग हुई थी तो मुझे खुद को लगा था कि अरे इन्होंने गलती तो नहीं कर दी.
Yeah, because that's so not you, like in the first, like, right?
Yeah. The physicality of that character is very, very different from my physicality. Like she's the kind of person, Beena Tripathi, who I played Mirzapur, is the kind of person who, if she enters a room, people look at her. There's
Commanding presence.
Right. There's something about her which draws your attention to her. I am the opposite. I will go and try and hide behind a curtain if I could.
But now you can't, Jessica.
No, I mean I'm not so bad also, but if I could, I would.
Like, given a choice, like in the party, you choose a corner where you have a drink in a hand and nobody is watching you, basically.
And I have one person to talk to.
And one person.
Yeah.
Now that we are in a lockdown situation, not socializing so much, would you say that sometimes you think about, oh, maybe, like, I'm not a very social person, that in that industry party social way, but well, maybe I missed it. Maybe I can be good at it.
Good at socializing?
Yeah.
In fact, the lockdown has made me realize that that I'm so comfortable not doing it.
Like, this is how it should be. This is how.
But I'm not so uncomfortable actually interacting with people I work with. I find that easy. I find a purely social gathering slightly more difficult than a professional one, because I feel like in a professional one at least there is a starting point. There's already an introduction. I already know what the other person does. They already know what I do. We can engage with each other at one level. I find myself a little lost in other situations.
Like I say, a little bit of a drum roll, and of course you're in Suitable Boy, and to be able to be a part of a series like that, and of course you have the best people in the business that you're working with. Tell me about it.
I mean, it's such a relief as an actor to work with a bunch of people who are so good at what they do. It really, I mean, it's one of those experiences which is purely joyous. जहाँ पे you totally trust the director. The director has picked a team of people who are so accomplished and so professional and so good at what they do that every moment on set is aha moment for you. You know, like when the costumes used to arrive every day, I was like, wow, I get to wear this. Arjun Vijay has done the most fantastic costumes for Suitable Boy. And also, I think working with Meera was on my bucket list for a long time. And I'm so happy that that happened. And I had a lot of expectations from that experience, but I think it definitely superseded all my expectations. I totally enjoyed interacting with her, not only as a director, but also the conversations we used to have in between shots and off set, and which is ranging from like politics to scuba diving to motherhood. And, you know, it was just so much fun to interact with her. She's really a spunky and very mischievous person. So I'm already in quarantine with an actor who's keeping me very entertained. Mukul Chadda, he's he's very entertaining and always trying to uh, get the better of me by cracking by putting me in a situation where he confuses me. So I'm constantly kept on my toes.
What's the funniest nickname that you've been given?
Saddu.
Pardon me?
Saddu.
Tattoo.
Saddu. Saddu.
Saddu.
Saddu because I'm Sikh. So Sardar, Sardarni. So uska short form Saddu. Also Rasso. Because some people at FTI felt that my name was not Punjabi enough. So they wanted to give it Punjabi
Yeah.
twang. So Rasso. Saddu and Rasso. Yeah.
An actor you'd like to be in quarantine with because would probably keep you really entertained.
I'm already in quarantine with an actor who's keeping me very entertained. Mukul Chadda, he's he's very entertaining and always trying to uh, get the better of me by cracking by putting me in a situation where he confuses me. So I'm constantly kept on my toes. I'm like, ये मजाक कर रहा है कि ये सच बोल रहा है कि ये क्या कर रहा है? So yeah, I'm already quarantining with an actor who does that.
That you are. Which actor's Insta feed keeps you really entertained?
Which actors Insta feed? Kusha Kapila. I am fully entertained by her. She's very funny, and I don't know how she gets a video out every day. I'm
Yeah,
amazed. At that.
it's
I'm like,
it's.
she's consistently funny.
What have you discovered about yourself during the lockdown?
That I enjoy my own company a lot.
I thought you already knew that, Rasika. This
I'm,
time reaffirmed, like reaffirmed. Basically.
yeah, seal the deal.
What does your schedule look like during this time?
Uh, listen to a lot of podcasts these days because you can do housework and listen to it because I think I was just getting completely mind boggled by doing housework and nothing happened. There was no intellectual stimulation of any kind, and I was just getting very bored by that. So I started listening to a lot of podcasts, which have just been so exciting that earlier I used to listen to a podcast because I used to do housework. Now I do housework because I want to listen to my podcast. I always wanted to learn how to sing, huh? And at several points in my life, no, don't ask me to sing, please. But
Look at my face. No, no, I wouldn't do that to you.
at different points in my life, I've taken music classes.
Have
So
people asked you to sing when you say this to them?
yeah, they have, and that's very.
I off the record. When I switch off the camera, then I will ask you to
I
sing.
don't think I don't think you should subject yourself to it.
I don't believe it, Rasika.
Believe
Then
I swear, I'm not playing this down. You can be sure. I asked my music teacher. Poor thing has to suffer me once a week. I think उनके सुर को मैं ही बिगाड़ दूंगी अपनी अपनी grade. I have my class once a week, and I'm very eager to please my teacher. So I do riyaz every day, and so I mostly do riyaz while I'm taking a shower. I've realized that that's the best way to do it because it gets done.
also I thought like echo, like the loo and the echo, and it works like makes you.
Yeah, maybe that's what makes me feel like I'm singing
You feel
really
like you're doing a performance.
well.
I'm sure there's always this one person, no, in your Instagram feed or somewhere who's asking you, Mirzapur 2 kab aa raha
Not one person, the first person.
hai?
The first person, no matter what I post, I will post a photo of a flower and they'll say, ma'am, people to come aa raha hai.
What is one quality you've been told is annoying in you, which can be, sort of the other person has to deal with it during the lockdown?
Forgetfulness.
High
I,
five, Rasika.
I don't know what's up with me, man. I'm like, Mukul says, sometimes Mukul just stops and he's like, you really have eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. And yeah, we had this conversation in complete detail 2 days back, and I'm like, oh yeah, really? When?
But I feel so much better when I hear somebody else doing it because I'm constantly forgetting names and someone does like, oh, that person, and I'm like, I know it. Give me 10 seconds.
I remember everybody's names, and I know that I know them. I sometimes forget how. So that's very. So I'm talking to somebody and I'm just trying to figure out यार मैं इनको कहाँ से जानती हूँ ये तो पता है कि जानती हूँ नाम भी पता है याद नहीं आ रहा कि कहाँ मिले थे और कैसे इंटरेक्शन हुई थी and that's very unnerving. I've also been rejected from a lot of roles. It's not like there was 1 year in which there were 5 films जिसमें almost मेरा हो गया था लेकिन हुआ नहीं. And that was the time between Kissa and Manto, and I didn't have so much work.
I'm going to take you down the memory lane through your pictures on Instagram, the ones that I've selected. I show you the picture. You have to just quickly tell me the memory associated with it and why you chose that outfit.
Oh, the black. So this was for an Amazon event recently in January when Jeff Bezos was here. And there was a conversation between Jeff Bezos and Shah Rukh Khan and Zoya Akhtar. That was an event that I was invited to. And for some reason, it was a little last minute. I didn't know whether I was going to be in town or not. So this outfit was sourced without, like my stylist in Delhi sent it to me, and I went around running to one alteration tailor to get it on, to get the size right. So all of that happened, and I was quite like unnerved by the suddenness. I mean, the last minuteness of this event. But yeah, and we were wondering if I was like, maybe I shouldn't go if I don't look well turned out, and you have all those worries as an actor, right? So, but finally, Alam Bhai, my alteration tailor, came to my rescue, and I could make it to that event in that outfit.
It fits you like a tease. So, yeah, Alam Bhai. What a wonderful moment. It's Sundance. It's what an honor. It's the
Yeah.
premiere of Delhi Crime.
Yes.
And this is the dress that you are wearing. Wow.
It was cold in Park City, right? When we had gone, it was really, really cold. So for that reason, but that is such a cute moment. That's like we never want to work with anybody else but each other. It's a show I'm very, very proud of, and I'm so proud of the way that Richie has researched the story, the way he told the story. But the Telegram is really one of those, usually when people comment on any project that I've done, uh, I al- I tend to sort of talk about things that didn't work for me also, just so that I see that if the other person also felt the same or not, and they also feel open to sharing with me in case they didn't like something,
Yeah.
because you could have liked it, so, but there could have been things that you didn't like in it. So I always enjoy that kind of conversation. But Delhi Crime is really one of those shows where I have nothing bad to say about it. I feel it's done so well.
Yeah.
It's really a piece of work I'm very proud of.
I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. Manto and Khan.
Great. Manto at Khan.
Wow, no?
Yeah. Right before this, Tahir and I have spent like 45 minutes trying to take good photos of each other.
on the Khan carpet.
Before the carpet,
Achha.
because we wanted to have photos to put up on social media. We wanted to have photos to give out to the press, etc. All our PR people were chasing us. So we've like spent 1 hour photographing each other before this, I remember. And I have so many photos of Tahir on my phone because of that evening. And I'm sure he has many of me. So,
Here you go.
this was for what? This was for Out of Love.
Your caption says somebody move me.
ये that's how you feel during promotions ना कि आप एक जगह बैठ जाओ ना तो लगता है कि यहाँ से ना
Yeah.
I can't remember right now, but they sent me 2-3 other options and all of them were so beautiful. They were all this bandhani with checks and the cotton cloths. So that's great. I mean, that's my go-to. Cotton is like chalo. And you know when designers make the cotton outfit, it's not that the jaldi se crush ganda hone wala cotton. It's a very soft and very like
Yeah.
no stress-free cotton.
How do you look at your journey, and how do you look at the way things have here been?
So generally, there has to be an environment of respect. I've been very fortunate to have that largely around me, and I think that's what kept me going, has kept me, has given me the mind space to be able to do the work the way I want to. And I'm very grateful uh, for for directors like Anup Singh, Richi Mehta, Nandita Das, who have been absolutely fantastic to collaborate with, and I would do that again and again. So I think that I've been very fortunate like that as well. So yeah, so that's largely been the kind of experiences that I've had. I've also been rejected from a lot of roles. It's not like there was 1 year in which there were 5 films जिसमें almost मेरा हो गया था लेकिन हुआ नहीं. And that time, that was the time between Kissa and Manto, and I didn't have so much work. So I can possibly describe as that year as particularly disheartening for me. That was possibly the year that was disheartening for me because when you come very close to getting a project and you don't get it, then you feel like somebody dangled a carrot and they're taking it away. So that becomes harder than sitting in your room and staring at a fan and waiting for the phone to ring. I feel like that's harder than that because you're given a flicker of hope and then you're like, nahi, nahi, ab to hum nahi denge.
Yeah, exactly.
So that becomes harder. So there has been a lot of that as well. But I think that the last 2 years has been a different set of challenges, and I call them good problems because they've been like suddenly there's so much work, and I'm promoting one series and I'm shooting for another series while I'm dubbing for another thing, and I'm like, यार मैं इतना सारा काम अच्छे से कैसे करूँ? So that has been the challenge in the last 2 years. So there have been different phases, and they've all come with their own set of challenges. And while I'm in it, it's not the most pleasant thing to be finding a way out of it. But retrospectively, when I look at it, I feel like I did a pretty good job coming out of all of them. So I think I can pat myself on the back a little bit.
I think you can do a little bit more than that.
And also, I want to add that at the time that I didn't have so much work, and I had done about 14 films in small parts. Like I had 2 scene roles in them. I started with a film called Anwar. I had a small part in a film called No Smoking. And when आप वो फिल्में देखेंगे तो आपको, I mean, they're 2 scene roles. I had a film. I had done some work in 10 and Love. But the people I met, even in those setups, they were all very encouraging to me. They always went out of their way to tell me that I was doing very well. So I gained a lot of confidence in what I was doing because there were people around me who stopped to appreciate it. I'm not saying कि मैं अच्छा नहीं कर रही थी, वो ऐसे ही encourage कर रहे थे. नहीं, I'm sure मैं अच्छा कर रही थी. There have been people who went out of their way to sort of make me feel confident and make me feel valued.
Thank you. This was so much fun. Thank you for sharing and giving me so much time. I hope I haven't really kept you away from the housework.
No, this was so engaging. अभी housework I told you I'm doing on slipshod. इधर उधर पहले बहुत sincerity के साथ करती थी. अभी I'm like 5 degrees worse than my house help. When she used to cut corners, I used to be like, ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो? Now I know क्यों कर रहे.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Lots of
you.
love.
Thank you for giving me so much time, yaar. So lovely. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.